Okay. Thank you if you click share. I appreciate that very much. And we're going to go ahead and get started. This card is a swap card I got by Jen Rios Rayner. Okay, Jen Rios Rayner. We're not using that stamp set. In fact, I don't have it. I'm trying to think what it's called. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, I'm not finding it real quick, but that's okay. It is, this stamp set is in the annual occasions, the annual catalog. Super fun and fabulous. And then the letters and the exclamation point are from the hand lettered prose dies. And we'll be using those tonight, but I did want to show you a couple examples of some things using those letters. And this is the first one from that swap. I'm still secretly here. Is that it? Nope. Oh, I can't think of the name. That drives me nuts. Here it is. Here it is. And it's super cute. It's on page 83, called Back on Your Feet. So a nice one for get well or support or encouragement. Okay, lots of fun. But I love how Jan combined the use of that stamp set with the hand lettered prose alphabet dies. Okay, I'm gonna keep this handy here. Okay, another thing, well, I'll show you the two. This is sold as a bundle. Okay, you can buy each product separately, or you can buy them together with the bundle item number, and it saves you 10% on both items. Okay, so this one is all dies. There's 43 dies in there, and we'll be using some today. And then the other one has a couple of images, just fun images, and then the rest are words and definitions. So that's something a little bit different, and I'm going to show you now how I used them. Okay, here is one card that I used, the Praiseworthy Prose stamp set. Okay, this was in from my July card classes. I love how she used the giraffe too, Amelia. You are so right, darling, isn't it? Okay, one thing I wanted to show you on here was how I made this little burlap embellishment. Okay, so I have a piece of 7-inch burlap ribbon, and what I did was put a little adhesive. Now I'm using Fuse, which is real strong. You just want some kind of strong adhesive. Even glue dots would work well. Okay, and you're just going to have the ends, fold over the ends so that they meet in the center. Okay, see that? And then you're going to punch out your stamped definition of friendship. And where are my leftover pieces here? Well, let me just pull a scrap. And then to get, because I wanted that white to show up a little bit better on the card, I'm putting Night of Navy behind that. Okay, and let me show you how I did that with my punch. This is the Timeless Label punch. And I do this a lot with the different punches. On this particular one, I cut it in half this way, and then put each half on the top and bottom of my punch piece. Okay, now you can also do it the opposite direction, and that would work fine too. Okay, there's the back side. I goofed a little bit, so I flipped it over and stamped it again. Okay, and I find it when you're doing these little borders, I find it easiest to put your adhesive on the label itself, that over those half labeled pieces, just like that, and do the same thing on the other side. And having that bit of Night of Navy color behind the white will really make this pop and show up better. And then from there, I'm going to lay this on top of the burlap ribbon, just like that, just kind of centered. Okay. And when I was ready to put it on my card front, I used dimensionals. Okay. Just a couple at the top and a couple at the bottom. Not sure I have this on real straight, but it works to show you. And that will secure it nicely to the front of the card. Okay, just like that. And then you can leave it that way, which looks nice too, or you can add some other kind of embellishment on each end, or maybe here at the tip of the, on the end left side of that label. That's a little sticky there. Okay, so that's just wanted to give you that tip of how to use your punch a little bit differently and how to use your burlap a little bit differently as well. Okay, and then we also made these two cards. Okay, now on the inside, I've stamped the definition of grateful, but I left myself plenty of room to write a nice thank you note. Okay. Leah, thank you. I am happy to be back. I had a great trip, but I'm happy to be back and back to work with my Visiting Angels clients and back to work with Stampin' Up. Okay, so these are, the two products, the one bundle that I use to make each of these thank you cards. And what you need to know about this is that I am using, excuse me, I am using both the punched letters, the cutout letters from the dies, as well as the negative piece, okay? And I've made a card using both of those, okay? So in essence, it's the same card, but I only die cut once to make both cards. Alrighty, so let me show you how I did that. Okay, I started by laying out the word thanks. And you can line it up on a piece of grid paper like this, or you can, oops, I'm sorry, I did it this way. Okay, so I have all the letters of thanks. I lined it up on my grid paper, or you can also just do something like this to make sure they're in a straight line. And then I went over it with some washi tape, okay? And I put enough washi tape on there that it held all those letters in securely. Okay, and I want you to know before we go any further, I did this at home and made my two cards, and then I went to Cincinnati last week and I had, this was cards we made in our class, so several more people used it, and this is still the original washi tape on here, and this technique worked fabulously. Okay, and I have to say, I thought I was so brilliant and that I was thought of this all by myself. And then earlier today, I thought, you know, I should look and see if Stampin' Up! Has a video on the Praiseworthy Prose stamp set and the hand letter dies. Well, sure enough, they do. And guess what they showed? Okay, just like that. Okay. Leah, do these dies work with the textured boutique? I assume yes, but notice I'm using the word assume, okay? The new dies are just a little bit different than the old ones. They work just as well, if not better. My guess is that they would work with the textured boutique if that's what you were using with our old dies, okay? We were told that any of our new dies and old dies should work with any of those Sizzix products, okay? Texture boutique, I'm not sure of, okay? I'm talking about the die cutting, Okay, so if that's a die cutting machine, my guess is yes. Okay, so here is what I need to make the two cards. I'm using a different background color. Okay, so I'm going to, and this is what I'm going to be putting the cut letters on. Okay, just like that. And then this is what I'm going to be cutting the letters thanks from. Okay, now being that I'm going to be using this negative piece as well as the cut letters, I don't want to put this on any old which way as if it were a piece of scrap paper. I want it to be lined up so that it's, you know, obviously that's not centered well. I want to line it up so that it's straight, number one, and number two, that it's pretty evenly centered, meaning there's about the approximate same distance between on the left side and the right side. Okay, and then again, you want your bottom to be straight. Okay, now if I weren't using that negative piece, it really wouldn't matter as much, but why not do the 2-for-1 deal with your card making? Okay, and these pull off really nicely. Okay, left some on the cutting plate, so let me pick those up. And I'll get the big shot out of the way. Okay, so first card, I'm just going to do this quickly and get this one out of the way. Okay, put some adhesive on that. And you don't have to have the adhesive everywhere, just enough places that it will stick to your card and stay there. Okay, so I'm going to put it about down here. Okay, and then I'm going to attach this to my card front. This designer series paper is part of the Garden Lane designer series paper, and really throughout the whole set of paper, all the images and patterns and things are done in Stampin' Up! Greens. So you have a large variety of greens, light and dark. Okay, and they're really very beautiful. Here's one other sheet from that. Okay, so these are just two of the examples from that card, or from that DSP pack. Okay, super easy, right? Okay, now I need my little thingy here to poke this out. Okay, I'm going to poke out the rest of these letters. They come out really easily, but I don't want to tear them, so I'm going to give them a start with my piercing tool. And that's just another negative space. Okay, so I'm going to take that second one. Okay, this is for the second card, and I'm going to be centering the letters, the thanks letters right on here. Okay, and my suggestion as far as adhesives for these little letters, you have a couple of choices. You can use the fine tip glue. You can use our Tombow multi-purpose glue, or you can use glue dots. Okay, any of those should work well. And really, when I'm doing this, my biggest concern at this point is centering the letters, the word, left to right. So I have my starting point all set. Okay, now something I just thought of. Let's see if this works. I'm thinking I can lay this back down as my pattern. Let's see how that works to line that up. It might be a little bit different because This is a 1/4 inch narrower than the mossy meadow green is. But let's see if that works, okay? So you get what I'm saying there. And then when I do this, I don't pick up each letter and put adhesive on the whole back side. What I do is kind of hold the letter in place and lift up part of it and just put a couple of dots of glue. Okay. And then I can lift up the bottom end and do the same thing. Just a couple of dots of my multi-purpose glue. Okay. So that's how I would continue doing the rest of these. Now, if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself, you can do something like this. And I would say put your first letter on so that you know it is where you want to start. You still kind of have to space them out, but now you have a good starting point. So now what I can do is actually put the glue dots on like this, which is a little faster and easier to handle as well. I'm kind of being careful in like the K because it's such a small bit of cardstock on that loop. Okay, my S. Ooh, I like this better. Okay. So this way, your placement of the letters is not so intimidating and it goes more quickly. Okay. So I should have actually showed you this one first, and then we would pull this up gently, and then I would make my second card. Okay. I love that, and much quicker. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this, and again, this multi-purpose glue, it really is multi-purpose. It's a fast and inexpensive adhesive to use on cards, and especially if you're making a whole lot. I love the adhesive, the snail adhesive, and I probably tend to use that the most. But a lot of times if I'm doing swap cards or say 50 holiday cards, I might use this just because it's a little quicker. Okay. So I'm just going to finish out the rest of this card with the multi-purpose glue. Now remember, I'm going to be giving these cards away tonight, so if you are somebody who would like to receive one so that you can make it too, or to send out to somebody else, be sure to comment on this post and you will be included in the raffle drawing. I need to do that tonight so I can go to the post office on Thursday when I'm off from my other job. Okay, so there it is. Okay, 2 for 1, super easy, a really inexpensive card. Now, if you want to dress this up anymore, you can certainly do that. Perhaps, you know, using a punch, even the butterflies, okay? Or you might simply add some kind of embellishment, perhaps a little bow with baker's twine or some pearls, something like that, you know. But this is the basic card and you're free to dress it up even more if you like, okay? Now let's try something else. So I had in my head that I could make a wedding card, okay? So I've got my pieces ready for that, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Let me get rid of these other letters here. And one of the most fun, I think, the most fun pieces of the hand lettered set is this hashtag, because you know how that is nowadays. Everything's hashtag this and hashtag that, hashtag Stampin' Up, hashtag handmade cards. Okay, so I'm going to use that hashtag, and then I'm going to find the letters to spell out love. And this is always tricky for me when it's the back side. I'm looking at them all backwards. I can't even find the L, can you? Okay, here's our O. And I need a V. I believe is that a V or a U? That's more of a U. Here's the E. Okay. Help me out, people. Do you see it? The L? Maybe this is the L, you think? I don't know. I still don't think that's the V. Here's the V. Okay. Let me double check. Do you think that's the L that I have there? I'm looking for something more like that with a loop, but I don't see anything. But what I could do, and thanks Ramona. Okay, tell me you guys if you see the L. I'm going to go ahead and take a peek here in the catalog. And this bundle is on page 109. And I have to say, I just thought this was such a clever baby gift. Hijkl. It looks like it has a little loop on it. A little, like, tail thingy. Oh, this one. Here it is. Okay, that's better. I feel better now. Okay, heaven forbid I should use the wrong thing. Goodness. Okay, so now what I want to do is the hashtag love, and then I've got a couple of birds that I'm going to come on. Oh, Ramona, you are good. You must play like those, word searches and things like that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of place this here like that. I think this should go the opposite way. Yes. Okay. And I'm kind of putting it closer to the left side. Okay. Because I'm going to have this over here. And the other thing I want to do with this is make sure that they're all angled nicely the same direction, and I'm using the hashtag as my guide for that, for the angles. Okay, now I feel like that is ready, so I'm going to use some washi tape. Okay, has anybody seen this set of washi tape? How darling is this? It's got some crushed curry, it's got a design in there, and then it's got this fun Stampin' Up tape. So let's break this open and use that. Okay. Isn't this fun? And I'm working on something for the people coming to my October Creative Escape Weekend using this. Okay. And then I'm just going to gently lift it up. Okay, and you can see the hashtag and the letters are still nicely and evenly spaced. Put that on, the magnetic platform. Okay, I wanted to pull that up so you could see that it's still spaced nicely and evenly. Just take your time and go gently. and it works great. Okay. Roll that through. And I've got these letters that I could do something else with. Because right now I'm using the negative space. And the hashtag didn't pop out, but we'll get that. Okay. There you go. And you just want to pull carefully. I always find too, when I'm pulling washi tape off, I really pull at an angle instead of straight up, okay? Comes off a little more cleanly and doesn't damage your paper, okay? So I'm going to set this aside for now, all right? So this is now what I have, okay? There's my love, okay? I could do it like that, but I decided I didn't like the brown letters. I wanted the white letters. So let me do it this way so I can see it better. Again, you just want to go in there with your adhesive. This all-purpose one is nice too for just putting some dots of adhesive between the letters. Okay. You could also pop this up on dimensionals. I think that would really look neat. Okay. And do it just like that. Okay, I'm going to cut out my birds with this stitch circle. It might be a little bit big, but let's see. I've decided, and this is both of these prints, it's the same sheet, but this is from the Bird Ballad Designer Series paper set, okay? And I have to say, I am loving that set. I usually don't go quite as crazy over birds, but this one it really is my very favorite bird stamp set and Designer Series paper. And then we have a really cool cardinal coming in the holiday catalog. And cardinals are always a special thing for me. Okay, so I'm going to add this to my card front. Remember, if you're watching, I'd like you to comment so that I can put your name in the drawing for one of the cards I'm making tonight. Nice thing too about that multi-purpose glue is it is forgiving, so if you get it a little off a little bit, you can slide this around. I agree, Patty, those are fabulous patterns, okay? And then I'm just going to pop this up on dimensionals. So a very quick, easy anniversary, bridal shower, wedding, even an engagement card, okay? It could be used for Valentine's Day as well, okay? Might want to go a little bit smaller, but I wanted to include some of the flowers and things there. But I want to make sure I have it set right so that it still fits in the envelope, okay? And then from there, I might also add a ribbon or a bow. I think some metallic thread behind here would be very pretty. But again, there's your simple version of it, and then you can always add more to it. Alrighty? Now, another thing you can do with these letters and hashtags, okay, is I could just start a whole second card and do something similar like what I did here, okay? The other thing that you could do, and let's just go ahead and make another one. Well, no, I'm just going to show you because I have one more project to do with you, okay? And it involves a sneak peek, so I'm sure you'll want to see that one. Okay, so these are very, very thin, but cut little tiny strips from your dimensionals, okay? And you're just going to lay these on here. I'll just do a couple so you can see, and then we'll move on. Okay. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. Okay, skip that one. I'll come back to it. I'll fix it after the live. So just put a little, you guys probably noticed that too, and with the delay you couldn't tell me fast enough, right? Joyce, I agree with you. I love that negative space idea. You know, I'm always making cards, and I know you make a lot of cards too, Joyce. And that's a way for us to make even more without taking up much more time. Okay? So what you can do is you can add all these letters back in with some of the dimensionals. Okay? And when we do this, we call this an eclipse card, okay? Because you're seeing a little bit of that cardstock behind it. So we just call it an eclipse card, if you want to know the name of that, okay? And when you do the eclipse card, you can either set it straight down in there, or you can even go off just a little tiny bit, okay? Do you see that? There's just a little bit of white showing. And I honestly would put more dimensionals on the back there, but you know, I like to show you things without taking up too much of your time, and I try to keep these to an hour or less. Okay, and then I would finish up just like that. Where'd my hashtag go? Here it is. It's sticking on the bottom. Okay, but anyway, so there you get the idea. There's two versions. Use it like this, or put the letters back in with the eclipse style, okay? And finally, let's do one more. Get some of this out of the way. For this, I wanted to show you, and we're gonna make a Thanksgiving or fall scrapbook page, okay? Or it could be something home decor piece as well. But I'm using the Come Together Designer Series paper, and it is our fall paper. Excuse me, got the hiccups all of a sudden. Our fall paper in the holiday catalog, which starts September 4th, okay? And it's a little bit different color scheme, okay? I tend to be a traditionalist, so something like this, I have to really think outside the box. But you know what? The more I do it, the better I get at it. And for me, Designer Series paper is always a good place to start in terms of color combinations, okay? So I really am excited to work with this, okay? And I love how the pages coordinate, which you'll see. So there's one, okay? This is really pretty. There's another, and the back side is this stripe, and I don't know if you can see, but it kind of has a watercolor cloudy effect in the background. Okay, more with pumpkins. Okay, again, a non-traditional color scheme. Buffalo check, which is definitely very trendy right now. The feathers. A fun plaid in fall colors. Okay, I think this might be my favorite one out of the whole pack. Okay, these fall leaves. Some dots on linen. Take a close look at that. Okay, it looks like linen fabric. Okay. Hi, Karen from Arizona. Ramona, that burnt orange color is Cajun Craze, okay? Cajun Craze. And look at this. Isn't that awesome? That wood grain? Okay. So, well, this is a pretty close second to that. I'm not sure which I like better. Okay. Let's use this one. I was going to use the other one, but let's use that one. And I'm going to start out by cutting a 2-inch strip, 2 inches by 12 inches of Cajun Craze cardstock. And what is the color behind that? I should have told you the colors, huh? Colors in this pack are, because it is an unusual color scheme for fall. Melinda, I'm glad you like it. Okay, the colors are Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, Mint Macaron, Pear Pizzazz, Pretty Peacock, that's that bold, rich green, blue-green, and Whisper White. Okay, so start there, and let me see if I have a piece of Mary Merlot. Yes. Okay, so look how pretty those are together, the Mary Merlot and Cajun Craze. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to cut, let's say 2 1/4 inches. And I'm going to use this as like a title or header for a scrapbook page, or it could be something to frame too. You know, grandparents always love pictures of the grandchildren. I love pictures of my own kids, family, nieces and nephews, etc. Okay, so on this, I want to do hashtag grateful. Okay, hashtag, we're going to need that E and the L, the U. I might have to pull some off of my thanks as well. What did I do with that? I wish I had somebody that could sit beside me during Facebook Lives and hand me everything I needed. Now I can't find the thanks, and we're going to need that. Oh, here it is. Okay, I knew I saved it because I was going to be using it again. Hi, Letha. So we're going to need some of these letters. T. We're going to use the A. Whoops. And remember, I'm going to use that same, I think we got everything we need from there. I'm going to use that same technique of putting the washi tape on to hold everything in place. Okay. Actually, I might do this instead because this gray is or the G is pretty long, and I want it to kind of go below. Okay, G R A T E, and we need the F U L. Got it. Okay. And you can space the letters closer or further apart. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to leave this space open because maybe I want to embellish that a little bit more. Okay. And to make sure these are lined up pretty straight, I'm going to do this. I'm making sure that they're kind of all angled to the right, the same degree, about the same degree. Okay, if you hold that cardstock down, it'll, you can take the letters right to it. Okay, whoops. And one wants to come with me. Okay, how does that look? Pretty good? This G seems a little off to me. I'm going to have to raise it up a little bit. I think I'm going to raise them all just a wee bit. Okay, that G is going to be a little bit higher because it's got that bottom tail, right? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to use that washi tape again. And what I like to do is take a piece that's long enough. I use it on the roll. Okay. Oh, Karen, I'm like so excited. Will you please post that card that card that you're going to make with the washi tape tip? I would love to see it. Nothing makes me happier, ladies, than when I see you posting on the Stampin' Scrap page, or even more so the Stampin' Piece VIP page. Okay, so you see that? I've got it all there. Now you know I don't have to pick that up, but I wanted to show you how well they all stick together there. Okay, so when you do it, just do this step. Don't pick it up. It's not necessary. And don't you love that fun Stampin' Up! Washi tape? I'm so excited about what I'm making for my October Creative Escape Weekend attendees. If you're interested in that, my weekend events are lots of fun. There are lots of surprises and gifts. And I do still have some spots available. So please come, invite your family and friends. If you need that information, I've been putting it in my newsletter under Creative Escape Weekend links. But if you email me or text me, I can send it directly to you as well if you don't have the emails. Okay. And again, pull gently. See how I'm pulling at an angle here, not straight up? And that way you don't damage your cardstock. Okay, I'm going to pull this letter off. Leave that here because I might want to make more than one. Okay, and take these off. These cutting pads are kind of old and crazy, but they still work great, don't they? Okay, so now I have a couple of choices. I can put the orange behind it like that, or I should have had that angled more, or I can do this. Do you guys have a preference? That's a hard decision. Either one looks good to me. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it like that. Let me try again, see if I like this better. Oh, I don't know. That's really a hard decision. I think I'd go like this and then do the eclipse card or eclipse letters. Okay, what do you think? Eclipse letters? Okay, let's put this down. While I'm doing this, you think of some ways you would embellish this if it were something you would put in a frame or in a scrapbook page. Okay, think of what you might use as embellishments on here. I have a couple of ideas. And we'll see if we come up with the same thing. Oh, Kathy says solid. Okay. Well, lucky for you, I stepped ahead. It's hard with that when I ask questions and I'm waiting for an answer because there's that delay on what I'm seeing on the video and what you're seeing. So it's kind of tricky that way. But I chose the solid. Okay. And then I can put this down as well. I'm doing this really quickly. Okay, and then like I would showed you before, I would trim my dimensionals really thin, tiny little strips. Okay, And instead of putting these on the letters, I'm going to be doing exactly what we did with the glue when we were doing the eclipse letters on that love card. And just put my dimensionals down like that. Okay. I might use a little off here, I think. You get the idea, right? And I kind of like these little, these tips. I call them like the tips of the trade, I guess you could say, just to make the paper crafting a little bit easier, okay? And I'm going to put my letters just off a little bit so I see more of that Cajun craze in the background when I look at it from different angles. Now, if you watched my Facebook Live last Tuesday, you know that we are getting black dimensionals. And somebody asked me, well, why would we need black dimensionals? Well, think about this. Here I'm using a pretty dark color, this Mary Merlot, and I'm putting dimensionals on. Even though the black would not match it exactly, if they show through or around the sides, you would not notice the black as much as you would the white behind there. Okay, I'm going to move this over just a wee bit more. Okay, so again, you got the idea of the eclipse, right? Okay. Oh, Ramona, you like it the other way. Well, then you need to make it too and show me. Okay? That's the nice thing about this craft. You can do things in a variety of ways, you know, just alter them very slightly, like either using the solid behind it or using the print behind it. And there's not a right or a wrong. It's what your own personal preference is. It's where your creativity takes you. Okay. So I would keep filling in just like that. Again, I just love this little hashtag. I'm going to put that one on there. Okay. And now Dana has a couple of ideas for embellishing with the gold foil leaves. Oh yes, gold would be very pretty. I do use a lot of gold with fall things or multicolor fall leaves. Yes, I think both of those are awesome ideas. Okay. Here's a couple of things that could work for embellishments. Okay. These are the bird ballad trinkets. Okay. And there's a variety of things in here. Okay. So these are fun to use. Okay. I like the idea of putting that maybe with some baker's twine. Okay. And then we also have this fun ribbon, which goes with a lot of the, it really is being sold with the Pretty Peacock suite. But look at this. The two colors of green on here are Pretty Peacock and Old Olive. And either one of them works really well with this. Okay. But look. There's that Pretty Peacock color, and then it's got the lighter along the edge there. Okay, think about that with, where are those pumpkin ones? Like that. Okay, there's the peacock side, or you could have the Old Olive side. So something like that. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. I am going to post it on my blog for tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm also going to finish out the letters here, the eclipse letters, okay? and I will send out this card along with these thank you cards. Okay, so I'll have 3 winners from tonight's live. Okay, all of your names, if you commented so that I know you're here, your names will go into the drawing. If you stayed to the very end, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. A couple of reminders. We do have the bonus days happening till the end of this month. If you place a $50 order, and it's for each $50 order, or each $50 you spend, you will get a $5 bonus coupon that you can use in August. Okay, so you earn the bonus coupon this month and you use it in August. Okay, and I have several people that have already earned a couple of those, which is nice. And then we also have our extra recruiting promotion. I would love to get more of you on my Stampin' Up! Team. We're a great group of ladies who really just love to share and create together. And I would love for you to be a part of that. And my dream in terms of recruiting is to have somebody, at least one person from each of the 50 United States. So that's really cool. And I'm working towards that. I'm small, but I'm working towards that. So the deal now is you get, you pay $99 plus tax, no shipping charges for your starter kit, and you get to choose $155 worth of product. Okay, that's your choice. $155 worth of product, which is $30 more than usual. Okay, and then after you do that, Stampin' Up! Is going to give you a coupon, I believe for $10, that you can use towards a demonstrator order, your first demonstrator order. So the extra recruiting promotion goes through July and August. It's a great time to join, because if you join now, you are guaranteed to have your 20% demonstrator discount through the end of this quarter and through the end of the year, which that October, November, December would be your first full quarter as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Okay, so you get to purchase any of the holiday products, annual catalog products, even clearance products at an additional 20% off. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please let me know, because I certainly would like to discuss that with you and see how being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator can benefit you. Okay, we all have different reasons for joining, and we all have different reasons for staying on. Okay, so I'd love to discuss that with all of you. Thanks, ladies. Have a great night, a great rest of your week, and I'll be mailing out these 3 cards very soon, and I'll also be finishing up my page to post on my blog. Karen Eckert, anybody else that is trying this now or in the future, I'd love to see what you create. And I'm sure that all the other people out there in Stampin' Piece world would enjoy seeing your creations as well. Always feel free to post your pictures of your creations on Stampin' Scrap with Mary Knabe and the Stampin' Piece VIP group. Okay? Great to have you tonight. Have a good week. Bye-bye.